I mean, you had access, I imagine, after the trial, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, I booked
things.
jobs. It was far as I had a radio show, and I followed. It was Howard Stern, and it was the late Ken Ober and Olson from Brady Bunch, and then me, and it was just like these great times. And then a gentleman named Akima Natstapulo, who had a show called Eye for an Eye, and I was a judge. He was the judge on the show. And we were 1 hour blocks in LA, and we were syndicated around the world on every station. And I was did the interviews like this. So it was this new show. It's like the perfect fit. And still today, this guy's my dearest friend. So relationships in Hollywood, real true people that are, when you're with real people. And I think I've gotten very lucky that I'm with people that can make things happen, and the people that are not full of it and full of themselves. Just such kind-hearted.
Because we all know those types. And I always say, like, that doesn't last. Like, that could last for a month. It could last for 2 months. But eventually you see, I don't know, I think it's so transparent when someone just is like, what's your angle? You're thirsty. This isn't going to work. That's right.
Yeah.
The other stuff goes much farther.
Yeah.
Right?
Completely. And it's relationships, as you know, is the most important thing in this town. Relationships and people that know you. And I've been really lucky, and I was mentioning that I was on the road for 4 years, before COVID kind of screwed it up. But I was the MC of these Comic-Cons with every actor from Marvel movies, every DC comic, every major motion picture you see, they do Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So we travel in the world's largest traveling show, and the gentleman that was the president of it was John Mata, who's my dear friend today, and he started the CW and the WB. He was 29 years the president of WB.
Wow.
So.
Some of the best shows were on the WB.
Yeah, he did that. He's greenlit most of the shows you probably like.
I'm sure he has Dawson's Creek, Felicity,
yeah.
Gossip
Gilmore
Girl, Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, all those. But like I said, still my friend today.
Wow. Is there, like, when we were coming in together and we ran into each other outside and I helped you park and you said...
Help me park?
Well,
I was driving.
You were driving because I don't drive.
You didn't put your seatbelt on, David. Let me tell you what, folks. It was beeping in my car for an hour because of him.
Kato's asking me where to park. I'm like, listen, I know there's one parking space per recording. I don't drive.
Right.
Then you're looking at me like, how could you live in LA without driving?
And then David said, why is there a tow truck there? I go, oh my God, I don't know that.
No, I'm like, I'm not getting your car towed because then I'll feel really bad. No, but when you were saying with your own amazing podcast, you say you record at the studios where Maverick used to be. I hear the word Madonna. I get excited. Like, do you know Madonna? Like, have you ever had like a celebrity, like a huge celebrity run in, or
oh boy,
it could be Madonna too.
Quite a few of those. Well, I do have a Madonna story. And
tell us.
That was, I'm trying to think. I think it's even pre-trial. It might be, but I was at a movie, and it was when's Eddie Murphy's Golden Child? Whenever that was, it was the Man's Chinese Theater. I was sitting in the balcony.
That's the name of the movie?
Golden Child was that. It wasn't very good, but so I'm sitting with a buddy of mine or whoever I'm with, and two people in front of me walking late. It was Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell. So whenever they hung up, that was it. And I'm like, that's Rosie and Madonna here at this movie screening, and that's when they were a strong clique doing things together.
And like, was there anything? Did you observe anything?
Oh, no. Just they were laughing and talking back to the screen, and that was it. I was invited to many of the parties, and I did where Madonna would be at, or Rosie, and I'd met Rosie a few times. And Bill Maher used to have a Christmas party, and she was there. I think that was her. I'm pretty sure. I know Roseanne was there, and his parties were always. Everybody was at his parties.
You have so many,
and Hef was my friend too. So Hef put me on his short list when you can get invited to his movie nights, and
I'm sure
all the people and employees I have, I think they like me because I treat everybody the same, celebrity or not a celebrity. I think, and that was I think Hef liked that, and I know his staff liked that a lot. So, and even today, I'm still friends with them all, and and friends of Crystal Hefner. It just. Because I treat people the way you want to have someone treated, right?
Yeah, but are people shocked about, like when people, like, what do you think people are most shocked to find out about you? Like that you're a nice guy? Like, what is it?
I think, I think funny. I don't think everybody knows that. I think they have the thing in the trial. I'm hopefully not smart and, giving a chance to talk to them. And it's sort of like, it's funny because I went on stage and people were after the show going, I thought it was an impersonation. It is you. So it's like, no, I'm here. I was on the billboard there. It's me. And so I'd say about 8 people came up and said that, like, you really are him. So,
I know you do a lot of those Comic-Cons. I've been to, not that, but I've been to a lot of other Comic-Cons, and it's a big thing, right? It's a big, people come from all over.
Yeah. And like I said, I'd come out and do I was the entertainment stage host. So I'm there 10 hours talking the entire, we'd have acts come on stage from that city, the best of. It was sort of like America's Got Talent. While Jason Momoa was signing autographs, you come to my stage and I ended, this is great. I used to have a lot of the celebrities, they loved this part of the show. But for the people, we had like magicians or we had a separate show. But I ended every show with a thing called Kato Kaelin. And it was like, we did karaoke, but I call it Kato Kaelin. And almost half the stars at the end would see the people that would signed up. It was for the people that came to the Comic-Con. They would wait for Kato Kaelin after I did the first year. When's the sign up? And then the celebrities start going, when's the sign up? And we get them on stage too. And it was such a great idea that John Mata, who I mentioned, said, this is a TV show.
You have a lot of TV shows in you. Would you ever, because like you said, there have been books written about you, but like, would you ever just write your own story?
I don't, someone asked me to do my autobiography, but I said I know nothing about cars. And 2, 3, 4, big laugh.
See, you
big
are
laugh,
funny. You are
big
funny.
laugh.
I'm just thinking there is a
I
market.
think a movie. I think there's a script, and I'm going to let everything's kind of blueprint in life. I think everything is just going to fall into place, and there's a lot on the plate now. It's sort of like in 1995. I was at a restaurant and a gentleman came up to me and said, I love your radio show. I think it's the best radio show I've ever heard. And it was this gentleman was doing a radio show in San Francisco area at the time. And I said, oh, thanks a lot, man. And that was Ryan Seacrest. And it was like, you saw everything happening. You have one hit, you can spin off. I sold a TV show, David, you like this one, with a gentleman that I'm doing teen court with named Dan Frisch. You can IMDb him. He's got a new show on Amazon called Daisy Jones and the Six with Elvis's granddaughter, Tyler Keough, or Riley Keough,
yeah.
Yeah, and so he's got this big hit that's going to be coming out in March. And I mean, it's going to be a hit. I'm telling you right now because I saw the trailer and I was like, every young girl is going to go crazy for the guy, and every young guy, it's going to be these high school. They're going to love it.
I like that.
So Dan did teen court. But back in the day, in the 90s, Dan and I came up with a concept of a show. And it was, Kato, we got luggage. You get dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and I have to find a place to live. And it was called House Guest. Did it. He and I shot this little segment. Went to Fox. Within 10 seconds, they bought it. They said, love it. And then we did the pilot. They gave us the money for the pilot. And then the president of the network at the time, FX, Kevin Riley, loved it. And then he got the job at NBC and they shelved it. So it's always something that wasn't right. And I look at it, at the time I'm bawling, going, why does this always happen? And it's hindsight now. It's like, okay, it wasn't because it wasn't my turn. It's hard to say that because you go through a depression. I mean, you really go through a depression. And it was like, okay, maybe there's something better. So I know there's no one works harder. I'm always doing something. And I really, really try to nail it. And I know I'm still judged